So the first boss we're going to talk about is Agira, or whatever, the second boss. Right? This one's fairly simple. This is going to be like super TLDRE, not too much. I just want to make sure everyone has sort of an idea and the plan. So new order back is absorb and soak, and then we go right, which is soak and leap, and then left, which is absorb and leap. So the last time we tried to do this, we tried to do obviously the hardest one first, which is hilarious. So we're going to do it opposite. So the way the absorb and soak works is when the soak comes out, there will also be the healing absorb. So if you don't get the healing absorb, so you don't get the small circle around you, you're in the tank soak. Does that make sense? That's it. That's the whole fight.
Like Smolder run, basically.
Uh,
Like if you don't have the circle, you can
yeah,
go to the tank.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, it's exactly like Smolder Run, except now there's a healing absorb and little balls will spawn off once we heal them. So we'll pretty much just do the healing. We'll do the tank soak. We'll always do the tank soak first, and then we'll heal the people who have the absorbs after. Pretty simple. Okay, and then it's just soak leap. So just make sure we don't dispel while he's leaping. Or sorry, soak while you won't soak while he leaps. That's impossible. So this one should be free. I will set up 2 groups in a weak order just so we know if you're group 1 or group 2. And the left one, if we do get there, we shouldn't really, but if we do, it's the hardest one, but we just have to live it for 1 minute. So I'm sure it'll be fine for there. So we'll blast this boss. This one shouldn't take too much. Does anyone have any questions about this one or anything specific? Barry did a good job really explaining it well.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Next boss is Volcross. Equally as much as a joke, split the raid in 2. Pretty much the whole fight with Volcross, and this one is updated, is you just have to soak coiling flames now, 1 on each side, which is these circles right here. These will have to be soaked. There'll be 2 of them. Say, like imagine this, but this is split. Right? This is exactly how it'll be. There'll be 1 in melee always, and a 1 on a range player always. So that means that the range will soak with range, the melee will soak with melee, unless I tell you differently. Right? Should be super simple, not a difficult fight. Next fight is Council. So this is the one that I've learned the most on, and that will probably cause us like a good handful of pulls. Hopefully we can get it down pretty quickly. So the whole idea is that remember there's ultimates. So the ultimate is where the bear is getting mad and you have to duck on him. There's the one where you get a debuff and you have to stand under the mushroom. And there is the other one, which is... What the fuck is that? I actually wrote it down. Yeah, charge the bear into the Arwen, right? Yeah, you're right. So the whole thing here is that 2 happen at the same time. They'll overlap. Now that doesn't mean they'll happen at exactly the same time, but they're, I guess, fairly similar enough to where we have to prep for them. This whole fight is done by our evokers. So Zesty and Homo will always be ducks. So if you get turned into a duck, you just go and give it into an evoker, and then they will continue to duck each other back and forth however many times they need to clear it all. The idea is that they will clear all the green puddles except 1 green puddle in the middle, and that makes it ultimately free. The order here, and I wrote it here, is bear plus Arwen. So interrupt with duck, interrupt with charge. The second one is Arwen plus Pip, which is interrupt with charge and stand in green mushroom. And third one is stand in green mushroom and interrupt with duck. And they probably just rinse and repeat like this. This is like a super, super lax fight in terms of DPS checks. Obviously, we're bringing triple boomy because it's busted to this one. And mainly, we'll see how we split. It's soaking the charges, right? That's like the one thing in this fight that will probably cause the most concern. Whether we do all melee in the first soak and then range in the second soak, or we split it in groups. That'll probably be the easiest, melee to range, because it's a lot easier to manage. But we'll see. So this will be a rep fight and feeling it's a pace fight and see how it feels. But really, it's just the evokers carrying us and then us not being boosted, right? Pretty simple. So key thing to be aware of here is if the bear is going to enrage, someone will have to duck him. So it could be an evoker, or it could be just a regular raid member as well. Okay. And that's it for that. Laredar we leave, so we won't go to Laredar next. We'll go to Naimu. Naimu's also going to be a 5 heal fight. So this is the tree guy where you can't run through the lines, or you're not supposed to run through the lines. So the whole thing of Mythic is there's a 3rd tree. Well, there's a few things. So there's a third tree at the back. This tree is not tankable, so tanks don't have to worry about it. You do whatever you normally did. And there will be a group. The same group can't go to the tree multiple times. All right. So let's say group 1 goes to the tree first. That means the next time we're in intermission, group 2 has to go to that tree, and next time we're in intermission, group 3 will go to that tree. You split it into three different groups. All right. One thing, so I've been asking people, like, what did your raid learn, right? Like, what was hard for you that you didn't expect? And this is for tanks. So tanks, going into the intermissions, you would stand under the boss and get the thing that let you make the big fucking green line, right? I can't remember what it's called. That supposedly hits like a fucking truck on Mythic and would kill the tanks. So you actually don't do that anymore. You can feel it out, maybe with AMS. I would look into that first before we get to there, if that's going to be whoever's on the DK, to see if that's possible. But from what I understand, they were not doing that at all. So the lines in Mythic are same as Heroic. They actually don't do very much damage. So what people would do running to their sides, and I can show you a log of bull stuff, is they just run over the lines and they don't care. Now that doesn't mean they're getting a 6 stack. Generally, they were getting like a 2 stack. Let's see right here. Oh, they haven't pulled yet. This is. What am I at? 50, 55, 50. Yeah, okay, so see right here. So they're going into intermission. Right here. And I'll go over that red soak in a second. The main thing is melee soak these. Don't get hit by lines, right? Don't stand in shit. Very, very simple. To do stage 2's in 7 seconds. This circle is the one that lets you make the path yourself. So their tanks were not doing this. So what they had instead was, for example, when the Demon Hunter was going to the group at the back, the Demon Hunter would immune this, and then everyone would follow the Demon Hunter back there if you're in the third group. Otherwise, Bull's not in the third group here, right? You'll see he just runs across, I think, 2 lines here. So he has a 2 stack. Oh no, that's the mushrooms that are up, I think. He has no stacks, so he'll run over 1. Right? 1 debuff. That's it. So there's no need.
Too, right?
Sorry?
Like that.
Oh yeah, it only lasts like 2 seconds.
Yeah, the debuff is really short from going through lines in general, and it does not do very much damage. As the fight goes on, more of these lines will be here, but Bull said it just doesn't matter. His tanks learned that the tanks, when they did this, could not take this soak. So they had a Demon Hunter immune. Don't know about Hunter immunities or other things. Like, does Cloak work, for example? Right, that's a good question. Because you're completely immune, right? It could be different. Who knows? We could try it out if we really want to. See how it feels. But outside of that, that's it. Okay? So you just go to your side, you blow up your tree. There'll be 3 of them. That's it. Super simple. You 5-heal this to make it super safe. And that's kind of it. There's one extra melee mechanic, and that is red patches on the floor. Remember when I said you have to run around and make sure that you are always... I didn't hear about this one. Is this a ranged one? Or is this what I'm talking about right now? Where are my little red ones? There's little red ones. Flowers do passive raid damage. Oh no, mythic changes. Fire will disappear, explosive after a few. It's got to be this one. So, I don't know if these spawn in range because Bull's only a melee player. He wasn't too sure, but they definitely spawn in melee. And we'll look at one right here. We'll just wait a second, guys. I don't know if they come out every single time a new soak comes out or what happens. So that's a green one, right? Super normal. Just soak it. Right? You always have to be soaking. So pretty much in this phase, you can just cross lines whenever you want. You have to be soaking. Can't just be diddle-dallying. Come on, give me one. Okay, red soak 1. This is what we're looking for, I believe. Did I miss it? Was it under him already? Right here. You guys,
Why is it red behind him though?
I don't know. Don't worry about. Maybe I don't know. That you see this red ring? This is like giga important, must be soaked ASAP ring. So even if you're in another green ring, you come and soak this red one, right? And so they're already in it, and it's a super big soak. I don't know why it's red behind them. I can't tell you. Now it's red in front. I think it's just a graphical glitch, it looks like, right? Because it like switched there for a second. But this small red one, it looks like red soak. It was on a timer. It has to be done immediately. If these spawn in range, it'll be the same thing. But you have to make sure you do them. For puddle drops, they never go away. So range should drop. You can see my mouse, right? Range should drop around this, right? Along the outside, like in between. So the middle ad spawns here in the back. Range will drop on either side here. And then melee will drop like as far out over here. Okay. So this is 5 healed. It's a super lax DPS check. It's really just about living and doing the soaks. And if we do that, it should be free. All right, well, we'll see if we see another red soak here coming up. Let's see. Maybe that's a ranged one because it appeared here again. Boom. Another red one.
That's why it's coming up out of the ground.
Ah, there you go. Yep, so there was another red soak right there. It's super hard to see because they're in it right away, but as a melee player, this is your top prio. And then it's just knowing which group you're going to, so you'll see in the top left, they have groups made up, and we'll do the same here. And that's it. Anyone have questions about this one? It's fairly straightforward. I put in bold and italics, walk through lines for free to soak green puddles. I'm not fucking around. Okay? Perfect. After this, we go to Larodar. And this is a big tank one. So this is the Jelly and Lyric really have to carry us. And the reason why you have to carry us is the whole mythic mechanic of this is you will get, I don't know, it's probably a debuff or something, where you spawn puddles under you. This thing, igniting growth. So players themselves will spawn poop under them. That means that in P1, that wherever the boss is, the whole raid is going to be. So that's why it's very, very important to play. The way Bull explained it to me, you guys can do your own research and whatnot, is so you'll pull the boss and a lot of the room will get filled, right? And there will naturally be cubbies. So they're just going to start here at the super clean point like this. So you see right here how they're in like a little cubby? My guess is that they will stay here and try to drop their poop here. Let's see. Oh no, the cubby fills. Maybe they already did it.
Yeah, whenever the boss spawns little flower soak things, there's little orbs to soak in each one of those. Which also spawn fire.
Dude, on details.
I don't see Gajeel on details. Sorry.
It was a Hiroshima enjoyer.
Oh. Yeah, so the idea from what Bull was telling me is that you spawn this in a so this is for tank, right? The boss spawns this here, and immediately after these go out, you have to move the boss, because when these go out, is when you're gonna, I think it's this roots timer here, is when you drop poops on yourself. We'll see if I'm correct. And so what they should do is tank him in this cubby if I'm accurate. Make sure you soak an orb. So these orbs, they do a fuck ton of damage, he said. You can only pick up one. Because it's just crazy carry. They should spray the root. Maybe it's dodges. We'll see. I haven't found the mechanic yet on the big wigs.
We gotta kill this before assassination is nerfed.
Yeah, maybe it's charged. I really don't know when it comes out. Someone tried to explain earlier, but I didn't understand.
When what comes out, the poop?
The poop under yourself, though.
No, that spawns from the fireball soaks. Whenever you soak those orbs, it's
Oh, one of the orbs that give you the damage buff?
yeah.
There you go.
These spawn here. They drop poop, and they spawn the orbs. Whenever you soak the orb, it also does. So I guess they pushed, but
Other than that, healers is the exact same. The difference between, and this will be for specific players, is the way you use the seed. So one person can't do it all on their own anymore. You need to have a chain of 3 people. And so the way that works is the person who is quote unquote the back of the chain will click, and then the next person just walks on top of them. So if Meowing went and clicked this over here, and let's say Bull had to chain to him, it would never be a melee, but let's just say it was, then Bull would walk, touch Meowing, model on model, and then extend it, and then someone, it'd be a 3-person set, and then someone will go touch Bull and start spraying the fire. He made it seem like you don't have to worry about Giga clearing, you just really have to keep the middle clear. And then as long as the middle is clear, you should be fine, and the tanks will naturally bring the boss into cubbied areas to drop stuff. We'll see. Looks like they're trying to do that here for the most part, at least for that charge mechanic. Maybe he was talking about charge. I don't know. But this is from what he explained, everything you do is around your tanks, because the whole raid is on the tanks. Which seems pretty accurate from here. And you see everyone drop, so it is roots, I think. Right? Roots 2. Yeah, igniting growth. So this debuff here, this is exactly what it is. So when you get this debuff on your screen, you will be dropping poop at your feet. Right? So we see us dropping it. So then they kite us into a cubby. They're going to kite them around the cubby to come back out. Boom. Charge. Okay, so that looked like that. I mean, that's only the second one they've had. That happens about once every, looks very, minute and a half-ish. So not too frequently, but something you have to play around. They're completely out of room, and it looks like they probably wipe here. Let's see if we can find when they kill it so we can get a clean pull of it. Because this boss will definitely take us some pulls. Okay. So we pull boss, room fills, right? And then the first roots comes at 20 seconds after pull. You save hero for P2, so here it is. So you're dropping poop, so they just kite around the outside into a cubby. Alright, so whichever tank is doing that for us. The charge is different, you'll tank it to the outside. We'll just, as a raid, continue to fill this spot. And now, right, we heal trees. Healers are healing trees. As well, with these trees, they can be life gripped and rescued. So priests will be life gripping them to the middle, along with rescuing to the middle from evokers. They get more juice. And that's gonna, I think it's, maybe it's, no, it's not Raging Inferno. That's the Enrage where you had to pop the bramble. The main thing is, from what he said, is as soon as the brambles come out. Are they out yet? Did I miss them?
They're chasing someone right now.
Oh, are they chasing someone? Where are they?
Looks like it's on Demon Hunter, right? Or whoever that is.
Is it Roots? Must be Roots. Yeah, it's way the fuck over here.
yeah, it's not called Bramble when I'm chasing. It's called something else.
Yeah, it's okay. It's on this person right here. So the reason why they're not popping this right away is they want it to be near the boss, I believe. Someone got rooted in poop. It doesn't. Person's just eating it. They're waiting. Interesting. Oh, they're setting up a chain. So Bull picked it up. This guy runs to him. This guy runs to him. He starts spraying. Spray the bramble. Right? Yep. And then they have to kill it. So melee will switch. This isn't a perfect. Or I guess they're keeping it in the middle. Maybe. Oh, they bring the boss to it as soon as after the charge. Fair enough. And then they have Raging Inferno. So they killed it at an interesting time. I'll have to look back in terms of kill times that if you're supposed to leave it up for that long or not. That felt kind of awkward. And really close for healers, which doesn't feel like that's very accurate. But I could be incorrect. Sharpen Edge, cap them, yeah, pretty basic. Dodging swirls. So yeah, if there's melee downtime like this, like we don't really have to be worried about it, right? Using this space that we have is going to be very important for everything. So let's not worry about that. Ignited Growth is dropping poop, so they'll again work their way in and around the fire. Second Brambles is about to spawn, so there's way less room, so my guess is that the Brambles will be eaten right here. They're already spraying. Brambles have spawned and we're immediately sprayed right here. Right? So they're going to use the rest of the juice. They just keep the circle clear. They're not really keeping a specific area by any means. It looks like they're literally just keeping the middle clear. That died nice and early. They have 26 seconds until the big AoE. And that's looks pretty okay. Alright. So this is a big tank one, because again, all the melee, like, they will follow the boss no matter what. So wherever the tanks put us will be what happens. Looks like when the seed is popped, it automatically cleared some room around it, which is nice, giving you a little bit extra room. And then we all stand in this for the Inferno. P2 is the same as Heroic. You might get this in P2, I'm not actually sure. What do they wipe here? I thought they killed here. Yeah, I think they do. I asked Bull, so what do? Do you CC everything, or do you kill everything? Or do you do a mix of both? Do you kill close and CC far? Because that's what we did in Heroic. And he's like, we just CC, and then if any stragglers break or do come through, we just blow them up, because they just do not have very many hit points in and of themselves. And he'll show us one thing here, I think. You already hit that tree. Bombs are pretty simple, right? Just get out. Use DRs. This will all be healing setup. This guy's able to go in the poop. And range soaks. So this tree's right here. He's just said they don't have very much health. You just delete them. And this is just racial hero and second, or hero and yeah. Second pot's probably 530. When did they push here? 433. So if we're pushing at 433, probably want to hold pots for this at this point. He didn't though. Maybe it's not worth it. I guess it's probably not, because you'd push this later, right? You just want to get the double pot in, even if it's outside of list. Anyway, that's what they did. They'll have a little bit more gear on us, so they'll still kill it quicker than us. So it's definitely probably worth it for us to pot. We'll probably take the extra 30 seconds no matter what. But that's all of this fight. That's kind of it. Does anyone have any questions, especially tanks, about this one?
What about this one?
We'll probably better to just talk about it. With Yasumi and Lyric later.
Yeah, you can definitely do that as well.
Spend a bunch of time.
Yeah, it's not as bad as that other boss from last tier.
Skarn.
Skarn, yeah. That was also a very tank heavy boss. This one is just a pure race. So this is their second week of killing it as well. So they're probably the same, if not higher level than us, and it's still very tight for them. So this will be a tight fight for us. Right?
Can we soak the orbs in the fire, or is that against the law?
You mean the ones that come to the boss to give you a damage buff?
Yeah.
I think you can soak them in the fire. It doesn't seem like the fire does overall that much. I don't know. I've never ran in it myself. But
On Heroic, it does like 20% a tick.
Yeah.
okay.
So it does hurt, but if you have like a DR.
Yeah, if you have a DR, you're probably fine.
Rogue doesn't have a DR for it, but I thought maybe if I can run and take like just one tick and then shadow step to the boss.
Yeah, I'm sure you're probably fine. I just know Bull said for the orbs when you soak them, like you can't soak two. I don't know if it does more damage when you soak two or they just hit really hard.
Second one.
Oh, you do?
One.
Okay. Yeah, so he just said pretty much all your melee players or whoever's there will end up soaking them.
Is our goal to get to this fight next week? Is that basically, are we looking at being on like 5 out of 9? Next week?
Yeah, I would say so. So from what I see, like pull wise, like I think Agiro should fall over for us. Right, we kind of got. I mean, we're not even doing the hard part, but it doesn't seem like that hard of a fight. Volcross seems like a joke. Council with 5 healing should be pretty easy, but it'll be a flow fight. So I don't know. I pencil us in what 20-ish pulls. Naimu, Bull said if you 5 heal, it should be easy, but we'll see. It also doesn't seem that difficult. So another 10 to 15 pulls, and then you're sort of at Laridar.
Are we down to
So-
already? Are we already doing just heroic on raid night and normal on like off night or something like Tuesday?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we'll do normal next week. There's no real point for us. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong in here with their gear and what they need. But I think my thoughts were for next week were to go just heroic before raid. That'll unlock the skip for us, and from there we'll assess what people need and where we need to go and skip bosses, not skip bosses, etc., etc.
I think you probably just do normal on like Tuesday because the trinkets are nice, like Farak
Yep.
trinkets.
Yeah, we can definitely do normal on Tuesday. That's fine. Just invite like alts can come or whatever, right? Just to get people attending. I don't know if we'll set that up for tomorrow or not, or sorry, Tuesday or not right now. I guess I can talk about it tomorrow and we can make a decision during raid tomorrow if we want. But that's sort of the plan. If we can, I think if we get to Laridar this week, I think it's like a huge W. It's really up to Council, I think, more than anything. Council will take us the most pulls.
This week being like
Monday.
Oh, okay. You're thinking like get the other 4 down on Monday.
Yeah, if we got Agira, Volcross, Naimu, and Council down, that would be like a really big win, for sure. Will we get that all in one night? Probably I'm being overzealous, and probably not. But at least 3, right? With 4 hours. I can't remember, was Toda or Zesty or someone was comparing us to a different guild that raided 3 nights a week. Can't remember who it was. And I don't remember how far they got, but they would be a good benchmark for us.
It was like 7 pulls for Igora, 5 pulls for Volcaros, 20 for Council, and they're working on Naimu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got another guild that was kind of near our level, and then they started doing a fuck ton of overtime in the first few weeks, and they're like 5 out of 9 mythic. I don't know how much overtime they've done, but it's probably doable.
Yeah.
They might have already raided like an extra 2 nights this week or something, because they used to be 9 hours, and now they're fucking doing like 15.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Naimu doesn't seem all that bad. Bull said it was a joke. He's like, we 4 heal it still, but he said if you 5 heal it. But that's out of Bull's mouth, so who knows how valid that actually is. But it's kind of just soaking new circles and then an extra group. So we'll organize immunities for that as well. But yeah, if Jelly and Lyric are looking at tank logs, look if they're actually taking that one mechanic. Can't even remember what it's called now. Full bloom. Tank gets hit and go kill ads. This wasn't necessarily true for his group. They used immunities, and he said we honestly had groups that didn't even have immunities. Like for example, if he had a group of mages and other things, he's like you just ran through lines to get to the back. So we'll see. I do know the puddle that trails you in Mythic is a lot shorter than the puddle that trails you in Normal and Heroic. Just so you guys know. It's not like... It's pretty big in Heroic, I'd say, right? But not necessarily the same case for Mythic, so... This one will take us, I think, some pulls for learning, but hopefully because we're 5 healing it, it's less about optimization. And more about just pull count. Cool? Awesome. Anyone have anything else they want to add for any of the fights that they noticed? If you don't, that's fine. If you come up with anything over the next little bit, and you want me to add it to the list just to help our learning curve, please do so. But hopefully we bang out a Gira Volcross almost immediately, and then we can start working on Council after that. Get it done. All right. Well, thanks for coming out. I'll repost this as well if you guys want to go over it in your own time.